It's Friday, January 21st, 2022. All I can say, ladies and gentlemen, another disastrous day on Wall Street. Markets are getting rocked, no doubt about it. And is this the beginning of something much bigger? I don't know yet, but there's a lot of people who are going to have a very, very bad weekend. These markets have been getting pummeled. Dow Jones today down 450 points, S&P down 84 points, NASDAQ down 385 points, the Russell down 36 points, and the VIX up 3.76. That's up 12.74%. So there is a lot of worry out there, and no doubt a lot of uncertainty around the world. Economically, wars, the health crisis, the list goes on. But, we've been hearing about wars and health crisis, unemployment, job claims, inflation, and the market just hasn't really cared. And now there's people saying today that this is why the market's going down, because all of a sudden the markets care about inflation. They care about wars. It cares about the health crisis. Absolutely untrue. These markets solely care about one thing, and that's the Fed. And they are 100% dependent on the Fed giving them lots and lots of money. These markets didn't care about jobless claims for 2 years. They didn't care about this health crisis. They didn't care about unemployment. They didn't care about anything because all they've done is go up, up, and up and set new all-time record highs during the worst news we've gotten in years. Yet they continue to go up. And now all of a sudden they're not going up. I wonder why. Is it the fear now? They have a real fear that the Fed is going to begin to cut these markets off, that they're going to tighten the balance sheet, that the QE is going to stop, that the $1 trillion a year in bond and security buying is over. So look, I don't know if it is or isn't over. I do believe that the Fed is going to raise rates. I do believe that they are going to tighten up the balance sheet, but I also do believe that there is a very good chance that they reverse course. And if they do that, we're going to see real big problems here. Good luck. We're all going to need it. U.S. market approaches end of super bubble, says Jeremy Grantham of GMO. He's an asset manager. His firm manages $118 billion. We talked a little bit about what he said yesterday, but let's go back, because after witnessing what we just witnessed today, I think we need to go back and listen to what Mr. Jeremy Grantham just said. And it's troublesome, ladies and gentlemen. It's frightening. The U.S. is approaching the end of a super bubble, he says, spanning across stocks, bonds, real estate, and commodities. He says for the first time in the U.S., we have simultaneous bubbles across all major asset classes. He is 100% right. He estimates wealth losses could total $35 trillion in the U.S. alone should valuations across asset classes return 2/3 of the way to historical norms. He also goes on to say in this article, and this is on CNBC, check it out for yourselves. He says he resents the Fed and other financial authorities for allowing and facilitating this super bubble. And he goes on to say that it's going to cause massive, massive damage. Imagine the damage this is going to cost people in these markets, in their 401ks, money markets, pensions, etc. This is going to be catastrophic, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not saying that things are imploding Monday or that they've imploded, but I do believe this is the beginning. This is the beginning of this super bubble ending, this super bubble bursting. And I think that you better get ready, because 2022 is going to be an extremely volatile year, a very bumpy year, and a year where you can lose a lot of wealth. So you better be extremely careful. Let's talk about the cryptos for a minute. I just checked about 15 minutes ago before I made this video. Bitcoin down $6,700, down 19%. Ethereum down $612, that's down 19%. XRP down 11 cents, that's down 15%. And Litecoin down $24.43, that's down 17.4% currently. You talk about volatility. I'm glad I'm not in cryptos, because I wouldn't be able to stop watching the cryptos 24 hours a day. The volatility is so extreme. But reading this article on CNBC, it's titled "Cryptocurrencies Tumble with Bitcoin Falling and Ether Down." They can't even, the numbers are changing so fast that they can't even keep track in these articles of how fast it's going down. I've been watching this all day. But as I'm watching Bitcoin down $6,700 and Ethereum down $612, I have to ask myself, and you have to ask yourself, are these real safe haven assets? Every time the markets get in trouble, we see big trouble in the cryptos. And it seems to me that the cryptos are now trading alongside these markets. So if these markets really get into trouble, what do you think is going to happen with the cryptos? And I think how many people borrowed money out of their homes to buy in to these so-called safe haven assets, these assets that couldn't lose, that are only going to go up. Me personally, I think they're Ponzi schemes. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people will send me hate mail for that, but it's amazing. A lot of the crypto trolls now have just disappeared. I wonder why. But this is what I've been saying for a couple years. And look, if you have cryptos and you believe in them, then God bless you. But when there's real volatility in these markets, these cryptos seem to get absolutely devastated. And again, going back, how many people borrowed money out of their homes to buy into this thing? How many people ran up credit cards to buy into this? How many people used stimulus checks and benefit checks to buy into all this? And now all that money's disappearing. And if this goes down much farther, I don't know. I don't know how it rebounds or what it's going to take to rebound these cryptos at this point. I mean, they are getting absolutely devastated. Gold and silver down a little bit today, but they've been holding steady. And with watching this uncertainty and this volatility in these markets, I'm so reassured that I bought real things, real assets like gold, silver. I'm holding out of some cash. And I believe more than ever that these are the assets that you want to be holding. Look, there's going to be volatility with gold and silver. There's no doubt. They're going to go down too, okay? They've gone down a little bit today. But I'd rather go down 0.35% than 20%. And know that I can actually access my assets today if I need them, not going to a bank and pulling on a door at a safety deposit box and the door's locked. Not dependent on a bank, not putting all my cash in a savings account or a checking account, just having the bare minimum in there to pay bills. Because look, I honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't trust this crypto market. I don't trust the bond market. I don't trust the stock market, and I don't trust the banking system. And we are going to see severe volatility coming. If you think it's bad right now, what happens when we start losing 1,000 points a day on the Dow? What if you start seeing, I mean, $6,700 down in one day in Bitcoin? Does that really make you feel safe? If the lights go out, if we have a massive bank run, if we have an economic collapse, a dollar collapse, is this the asset you want to be holding? I'm just curious. Is this really the asset you want to be holding? I'm not telling anybody to sell their crypto. Buy the dip. Buy the dip if you want. Buy the effing dip. If you believe that these markets are going to roar back, which they very well could, buy the effing dip. That's what they tell you to do. But be aware and beware that one day the dip is not coming back. And people will buy the next dip and the next dip, believing it's going to come back, and it's not going to come back. These markets are getting rattled right now because they know that the tightening is going to come. They know that the interest rates are about to go up, and they just have to go up a little bit, and it's going to be a big problem. And again, if they reverse course and bring those rates back down and start pumping more cash back into these markets with more QE, you're going to see even bigger problems. They're in big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the time, and I don't give financial advice, but this is the time where I believe you got to get back to simplicity. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. You better have some cash. You better have some gold. You better have some silver. You better have items to barter with. And most of all, you better have security. CNBC, central banks are sleeping at the driving wheel as inflation spirals, says Brazil economic minister. He couldn't have said it better. Paulo Guedes said to CNBC's Jeff Cutmore, he said this today, that the inflation, referring to inflation, the beast is out of the bottle. Inflation will be a problem, a real problem very soon for the Western world. And I read that today and I said, me personally, I'm going to be ordering more gold. The thing that we all know and the world knows, that if you want to hedge inflation, you better be holding gold. And if you can't afford gold, you better have some silver. But again, he says inflation will be a problem, a real problem very soon for the Western world. That's us, ladies and gentlemen. It's if you think the inflation's bad now, wait till you see what's coming, because the genie now is out of the bottle. And the Fed has not done anything about it yet. Remember, they are still buying bonds. They're still buying treasuries. They're still printing money. They have not begun to tighten. We still have interest rates at zero. What is this going to look like when the rates go up, when the tightening begins? Wolfstreet.com, big drop in home sales, surging mortgage rates, tight supply, the new dynamics shaping up. Again, it is not going to take much to collapse this housing market, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, at this point, I think it's hanging on by a thread. We're going to see big changes coming to the real estate market here in America. Sales of previously owned houses, condos, and co-ops in December fell by 4.6% month over month and by 8.3% year over year. It was the fifth month in a row of year over year declines. Sales of single-family homes dropped 5.9% month over month and 8.1% year over year. Sales of condos plunged by 7% month over month and 9.6% year over year. What is this going to look like when the rates go up? What does this look like? Last I checked, 30-year fixed was 3.85%, 3.75%, right around there. What does this look like when we hit 4%? What's it look like when the 30 year is at 4.25%? Just that much. And those are still extremely low rates. It's not going to take much to start collapsing the housing market. And if you don't believe me, just think about this. 60% of this country doesn't even have $1,000 in savings for an emergency. 60%. Yet you're telling me that this housing market is in good shape, that this economy is in good shape? If you believe that, seriously, if you really do believe that, you need to get some counseling. You really do. Another article today, CNBC, U.S. banks close record number of retail branches in 2021. Wells Fargo shutters the most. U.S. banks shuttered 2,927 branches last year alone. Wells Fargo led with branch closures in 2021, closing 267 retail locations. Now, is this a cause for concern? You tell me. I shot a video a couple days ago. If you didn't see it, check it out. A couple days ago, just in my area, Palm Springs, multiple banks permanently closed and others just temporarily closed. No sign, just temporarily closed. If you need to access your lockbox, call us. And I don't know if anybody answers, if it takes a week or 2 weeks for somebody to come down to the bank, open up the bank, and allow you into your safety deposit box. I don't know how long that takes, but just think about that. You have to call a 1-800 number now because your bank is closed to access your safety deposit box. I don't know about you, but I'd feel very, very uncomfortable. And if you had an emergency today and had to access something out of that box, documentation, paperwork, cash, whatever asset it might be in there, diamonds, gold, you're not getting in it today. You're not getting in it. So these are absolutely crazy times, ladies and gentlemen. No surprise. We've been talking about this for a couple years, and now things are beginning to unfold. And look, market could be up 1,000 points on Monday. I realize that. But take what we're seeing the last few days now, or literally the entire week, take it as a warning to what's to come, because this is very minor. These are very minor disruptions. You're going to see major volatility coming. You're going to see things, I truly believe, that you never thought possible. You're going to see the worst economic collapse America has ever seen. It's going to be worse than the Great Depression. In fact, I believe that the Depression has already begun. And I feel for people who are struggling right now, but I don't feel sorry for these people who had the opportunity, who were getting all the free money, and they decided to go out and take vacations and buy cars and buy big screen TVs and did not pay 1 cent of their debt down. In fact, you know what they did? During this past year, people decided to acquire even more debt than before. When they weren't even working, because they were being given free money, they decided to acquire even more debt. And these people, they're going to pay a severe price for that decision. And we're going to see millions of people in very, very big trouble. If you think the homeless crisis is bad now, wait to see what's coming. If you think inflation is bad now, wait to see what's coming. If you think the unemployment rate, the real unemployment rate is bad, wait to see what's coming. If you think prices at the grocery store and the gas station are high now, wait to see what's coming. Comment down below, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think. But there's a lot of people out there that told you and I we were wrong. We didn't know what we were talking about. We're foolish for buying barbarous relics like gold and silver and holding real assets. These people are getting very scared now. These people who were speculating, in other words, gambling in these markets and in these cryptos and the AMCs and the GameStops and all this stuff, these people now are getting very, very nervous. They don't have free money to go on the Robinhood accounts and gamble any longer. People have no idea what's about to happen. They have no idea. Take every day that you have and use it to put the odds in your favor. It's a great weekend to go buy a little extra food, a little extra water, maybe order a little gold, order a little silver, get out, get a good walk in, get a good run in, get a good workout in. Take care of the body, ladies and gentlemen. Take care of the soul. Take care of your mind. You're going to need it. Get your finances in order, because this is going to be the worst Great Depression the world has ever seen.